This is NBC 16 News at 6:30.
Authorities say they still haven't found a body or identified the people associated with the man who reportedly jumped from the Charleston Bridge. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NBC 16 News at 6:30. Filling in, I'm Alexis Thrower. NBC 16's Lauren Negretti talked with the worker on duty at the time about what he saw Tuesday night.
Ilan's Riddick never expected his evening shift at the Charleston Bridge to unravel into a search on Christmas Eve.
Getting ready for my 12 o'clock midnight rounds, bridge inspection, and I heard two car doors close outside the tower.
Riddick says he looked out the tower window and saw them park at the end of the access point right here behind me. What he saw next stayed with him.
I noticed a lady and a man standing there beside the vehicle. The guy started to walk back toward the next light down the street here. He made a U-turn and came back. And at that same time, the lady was starting to walk toward him. He started walking back. He made a left turn, stepped over the low railing, stood there for 2 or 3 seconds, and stepped off the bridge.
Riddick says he shouted at them and immediately called 911.
I asked the lady, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And she looked at me and said, "Don't worry about it."
Riddick says she got into a newer gray-brown pickup truck with another man and drove away. He says the group looked to be in their 20s or 30s. The man who jumped was wearing a white t-shirt with dark pants, and the woman had long brown hair and was wearing a white top with blue jeans.
I came out with a flashlight and looked over the edge for him. All night I waited for someone to beat on the bottom door just in case. You never would have knew. But once again, that tide was really moving fast.
The Coos County Sheriff's Office is investigating. In Coos County, I'm Lauren Negretti reporting.
If you have any information about this case, call the Coos County Sheriff's Office at 541-396-2160. Nearly 9,000 kids and teens have died from opioid poisonings over the past 2 decades. That's according to a new study from Yale University. About 3/4 of those deaths involved prescription opioids, and most, 81%, were accidental. Older teens had the highest death rates from opioids and were the most likely to die from heroin abuse than any other age group. White males used to make up the majority of opioid poisoning deaths, but black children now account for a larger proportion. This year, 40,000 persons will be diagnosed with HIV, but now, thanks to a recommendation from the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, there may be a way to dramatically decrease that number. Hallie Pilot explains.
It's a small pill with a big impact.
Pre-exposure prophylaxis,
otherwise known as PrEP.
a medication that blocks HIV from incorporating itself into the cell so that if they get exposed to the virus, they don't contract the virus. It keeps them from getting infected.
So how do you know if you are at risk?
Everybody needs to see themselves at risk. If they have sex, they're at risk.
He says the stigma attached to HIV is an obstacle in getting people to talk about this drug, but research shows PrEP can normalize the conversation.
That improves your A, acceptance of the PrEP, and B, the awareness that, we need to be serious about protecting ourselves.
Last year, the UK Public Health Service said it's a no-brainer for doctors to encourage those at risk to take the drug.
Because each new diagnosis of HIV represents a $400,000 cost burden for future care.
He says that's just assuming they don't end up with AIDS, in which case there would be hospitalizations and an even bigger financial setback. From a cost standpoint alone, Dr. Karajosis calls PrEP ideal.
When used with condoms, the protection rate is 99%. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
Even without condoms, he says PrEP's protection rate exceeds 90%. It's a little blue pill that can change the world.
If we could prevent 20,000 infections this year, we're going to be preventing over the next course of the next decade 2 million new infections. That's the math. That's the math.
Dr. Karajosis says the only FDA-approved PrEP is called Truvada, but says more will come to the U.S. and doctors don't need to specialize in HIV to prescribe it. It's one of the biggest decisions for women facing childbirth, epidural or no epidural. A new study reveals the use of pain relief differs greatly across the country. Researchers at Stanford University looked at over 2.5 million women who gave birth in 2015. Overall, nearly 3/4 of new moms use an epidural or other pain reliever during labor, but it varied widely by state, with the lowest frequency in Maine and the highest in Nevada. Experts say the next step is to understand the reasons for the differences and to see if it affects the health of women and newborns. One area hospital will soon be providing visitors a place to stay mere steps away from loved ones. Peace Health is building rooms for families to have a place to rest and be surrounded by community, all for little to no fee. The Heartfelt House will include 10 rooms for families and children in the hospital, and the 10 rooms for those who need to be near adults being treated. The funding is entirely based on donations, and so far, more than $5 million has been raised.
Can you imagine living in a motel for 3 months and not having any real support? And that's the thing at this facility. It's not only a building, but it's the support.
The project will cost more than $8 million and open its doors this June. On to a first look at weather. NBC 16's Christelle Kumwe joins us now in the Weather Center. Christelle, what can you tell us?
Well, it was a relatively dry Friday, but we did see some light showers on and off this evening. Now let's take a quick look outside over Eugene with our NBC 16 Skycam. Now today we did see a high in the upper 40s. Right now our current temperatures, we are sitting at 46 with cloudy skies, 7-mile-per-hour winds. And now later tonight, those temperatures will gradually drop and reach 43 by 11 p.m. and tomorrow morning we can expect to be waking up to mostly cloudy skies, and those temperatures will be right in the mid to upper 40s and relatively another dry day. However, by 6, 7, 8 p.m. those showers will start coming around and will likely stick around with us until Sunday. But as far as temperatures on Saturday, we can expect a high near 52 in Eugene, 54 in Coos Bay, and 52 in Roseburg. Now 2019 is just around the corner. I'll tell you what we can expect for the big day on Tuesday and the rest of your weekend. Alexis?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christelle. Now, due to the partial government shutdown, all IRS offices are closed. That includes the offices here in Eugene. The IRS wants anyone who made an appointment at any of their offices to reschedule when the government reopens.
We will resume normal operations as soon as possible. Self-service tools are available, and we encourage you to visit the IRS website at www.irs.gov for the latest information.
The IRS website will remain open for information on several tax services. You're still required to file your taxes after January 29th when tax season begins. According to federal law, you're still required to file or pay them regardless of the government shutdown. Cruz Farms in Douglas County is celebrating an award honoring their family. NBC 16's Gabby Arenda finds out how a 4th-generation farmer is keeping tradition alive.
Evan Cruz has been working his family's farm in Roseburg for 9 years. He's happy his grandparents, Don and Sally Cruz, were honored with the Oregon Farm Bureau Memorial Award for their agricultural advocacy in Douglas County.
Who is participating in agriculture is also participating in the advocacy side, was something that my grandfather was a huge proponent of. With fewer people farming, Cruz says there can be some challenges along the way. That includes selling local produce when other options from miles away are available. Producing local food and making sure that's available is maybe a little more unique than it used to be. Maybe more of a niche market. He says selling diverse crops such as carrots and apples versus specialty crops like wine grapes is also something to adjust to. There's some difficulties involved with kind of bucking the industry trend, but we're trying to learn from our neighbors that are in this other high production ag as much as possible. Cruz hopes at least one of his kids will continue the family farm so others have produce for years to come. Covering Douglas County for you, I'm Gabby Arenda.
With the new year comes new roads. The city of Eugene has taken over part of Franklin Boulevard from the Oregon Department of Transportation to redesign the street. NBC 16's Stephanie Rothman has the details on how you can help reshape the area.
To say Franklin Boulevard is busy is an understatement. The strip of land around Matt Knight Arena by I-5 is one of the most traveled streets in the city.
Our community is growing, the university is growing, and so we kind of need to update the street to, in a way, catch up.
In a report by the city of Eugene, the number of people in the city is predicted to triple in size by 2035.
As the university continues to grow and start to build across Franklin Boulevard, there's going to be more needs for people walking and biking along the corridor, and so we need to invest in our infrastructure to better accommodate those needs.
1.5 miles from Alder to I-5 will be redesigned. The planning process will cost more than $300,000 in federal funding, and once plans are approved, the city will apply for grants to fund construction in 2022.
We don't know exactly what it's going to look like because we have to go through the planning process, but we're hoping that at the end we'll design a road that's just safer for all modes of transportation.
The need for a makeover isn't just for growth, but for infrastructure as well.
There are places where the sidewalk just ends, where there's no bike lanes, where a number of different modes are having to share the street.
Valera says right now the street is made up of concrete and traffic lanes. The hope is to turn it into more of a destination.
We want the land use and the buildings around Franklin to become more modern and to kind of really develop in that area so that there's more housing, more businesses, and it creates a place for people to go.
Residents can be a part of this change by making their voices heard at a 4-day workshop hosted by the city at the end of January. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Stephanie Rothman.
Coming up next on NBC 16 at 6:30, if you've set some New Year's resolutions and need a little help with sticking to them, some new apps and gadgets could help with your follow-through. We'll have that story after the break.
News at 6:30.
It's almost time to ring in the new year, and for many that means making resolutions. Liz McLaughlin shows us new gadgets and apps to help you make those goals and stick to them.
Perhaps after a few too many holiday treats, many Americans plan to move towards a healthier lifestyle in 2019. According to offers.com, losing weight and exercising more are the top New Year's resolutions year over year.
There are plenty of gadgets that help you stick to your New Year's resolutions. Fitbit's great in terms of being able to challenge other people to meet your fitness goals.
Fitbit's newest models, the Charge 3 and Versa, go beyond counting steps.
I actually tested out both of those models, and they can do things now like personalized exercise coaching, even track your heart rate and sleep, and now they're essentially smartwatches. You can check your phone notifications, even make payments.
But if you're already feeling the holiday spending hangover, apps such as NerdWallet, Acorns, and Mint can help you get back on track, providing easy tools to set a budget and track spending in 2019.
Goals change every year, and so one of the things I like about working with apps in terms of financial goal setting is your data saved and you can keep using it year after year.
There are also apps to see how much time you're spending on apps. Screen time on iOS and digital well-being on Android are built-in ways to track time spent on devices and set goals to cut back.
I was shocked to find out that I was spending 5 hours a day looking at my device.
Technology that can make you aware of bad habits and potentially provide the motivation to change them. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Turning to weather now, NBC 16's Christelle Kumwe is standing by for a look at what's coming up in your full forecast. Hey, Christelle.
Hey, Alexis. So we have a few more days left in 2018 and, of course, the weekend. I'll tell you what you can expect for the weekend. And, of course, the big day on 2019 on Tuesday. We'll be back.
Hey.
Good evening and welcome back. We are taking a live look outside over beautiful and bright Eugene with our NBC 16 Skycam. Right now our temperatures are sitting in the 40s at 46 with cloudy skies. And later tonight, if you're headed out and about this Friday evening, this is what you can expect. Mostly cloudy skies and our temperatures will gradually and slightly drop to about 43 by 11 p.m. Now our satellite and radar is showing a few showers to the north of us. So we are, that explains those light showers we've been seeing on and off this evening. However, if we fast forward with our futurecast to Saturday morning, for the most part of the day, we can expect mostly cloudy skies. However, if we fast forward once again with our futurecast, by Saturday night, we can expect another round of showers in our region and a few snow showers in the Cascades. And as far as Saturday, just a reminder, those showers will likely stick with us for our Sunday morning. As you can see with our futurecast, a few showers here and there. And as far as Saturday, to kick off the weekend, we will be waking up to partly sunny skies, temperatures in the 40s. And that is pretty much the same scenario, the same story the rest of the region can expect for their Saturday. Our high in Roseburg will be right around 51, 52 in Eugene along the coast, temperatures in the 50s as well, 54 in North Bend, 53 in Florence, and 53 in Newport. Now let's see what we can expect for the next few days here in Eugene. Once again, kicking off the weekend with partly sunny skies. However, on Saturday, we are going to see those showers, and those showers will likely linger into our Sunday. For our Monday and Tuesday, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, those showers get out of the way and leave way to partly sunny skies and temperatures in the 40s. Our lows will be in the 30s, though, in Eugene. And now quickly moving on to our friends on the coast. Pretty much same weather pattern. We can expect some showers early Saturday evening. Those showers could potentially linger into our Sunday. However, on Monday and Tuesday, we can expect dry weather. We could potentially see the sun make a few appearances on Monday and Tuesday, and those temperatures will be in the low 50s on the coast. And finally, in Roseburg, similar weather pattern. Some showers on Saturday night, potentially on Sunday, but on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it will be partly sunny skies, temperatures in the 40s, and our lows in Roseburg will be in the low 30s.
Wow, nice forecast. Now, do you have any plans for New Year's? We've got the forecast for
you know what? I'm not going to get a little too crazy. I'm just going to stay home and watch the ball drop or whatever else is happening, but I will be nice and warm and cozy.
Nice and warm, right? Well, thank you so much, Christelle. And coming up next on NBC 16 at 6:30, Tom Adams will bring us a recap of the top local news stories of 2018. Stick with us.
At 6:30.
A successful land swap in downtown Eugene, the demolition of Hayward Field, and a big summer fire season were among the top local stories this year. NBC 16's Tom Adams looks back at the big local stories from 2018.
We all heard the reports it was going to happen. Still, the day deconstruction began at iconic Hayward Field, it was a shock to the system. The much-loved East Grandstand was torn down in less than a day. The West Grandstands and the Bowerman Complex also became victim of the wrecking ball. A new track and field complex is being built for the 2021 World Track and Field Championships. Big fires dominated the headlines. The Terwilliger Hot Springs fire broke out near Blue River in late August. Users of the Cougar Hot Springs had to run for their lives to escape the flames. Forest officials say the total damage is pegged at $24 million.
This is the largest fire I've ever seen in my career.
The words from Chief John Wooten of South Lane Fire and Rescue. In late May, an industrial blaze wiped out the Whitcell manufacturing plant in Saginaw. Total damage added up to about $15 million, and the blaze put about 100 people out of work.
All regulating free speech now.
Homeless issues were big in the city of Eugene. Homeless campers in the fall started camping out at the county's butterfly lot in the downtown Eugene area in a protest. That led Lane County officials to open a temporary camp in the Four Corners area called Camp 99. Eugene City Council members voted against a plan, though, to turn that camp into a dusk to dawn facility run by St. Vincent de Paul. Next month, though, Camp 99 will be closed, and campers will be asked to move to 2 nearby locations to be supervised by St. Vincent de Paul. Also generating news was the mother of all land swaps.
We're going to be able to build on a full block, a lower building, much more friendly building for downtown.
After years of legal wrangling, Lane County and the city of Eugene got the ruling they were looking for in the fall. Visiting Coos County Judge Richard Barron decided there's nothing in the old Eugene Skinner 1856 land deed to prevent the city and the county from swapping the butterfly lot for the empty City Hall lot and build their respective government centers. Lane County voters decided they were ready for some change in 2018. Joe Burney and Heather Buck were elected new county commissioners, and those members will tilt the board to the left when they take office in January. Also, voters in the Eugene 4J district approved the largest building bond issue in 4J history to pay for new North Eugene High School and many other projects at elementary schools in the 4J area. That's a slice of the top stories from 2018.
One more note on the homelessness issue in Eugene. Eugene City Councilors and Lane County Commissioners will meet next month to go over a consultant's final report on what to do about long-range solutions to homelessness. That meeting is set for January 22nd. And if you're thinking about lighting fireworks on New Year's Eve, you've got the go-ahead in Eugene, but they have to be legal fireworks according to the City Council. Legal fireworks pertain to those that fly less than 12 inches in the air. They have to travel less than 6 feet on the ground. And lastly, they must not explode or produce balls of flames. The days you are allowed to light fireworks in Eugene are July 3rd and 4th and December 31st and January 1st. For firework regulations in other communities, check with your local fire department. Coming up on NBC 16 at 6:30, we've all got things we'd rather forget. And an event in New York City is helping people purge those memories before the new year. We'll tell you more after the break. Of 2018 you'd rather forget. Folks in New York City got a chance to tear theirs to shreds, literally on Good Riddance Day. People showed up to Times Square on a rainy day to bring or write down any unpleasant memories from the past year. Remnants of an ex, paid medical bills, annoying study guides, all were candidates for a waiting shredder where they were destroyed. Paper was provided for those who didn't have a specific document to discard. Good Riddance Day proved a little short. Revelers were given only an hour to take advantage of the satisfying service. The annual event is inspired by a Latin American tradition in which New Year's revelers stuff dolls with objects representing bad memories before setting them on fire.
Wow, I kind of like this idea.
I know, I kind of do too.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna burn? Where are we gonna burn after this show, Christelle?
Yeah, we'll discuss. Yeah, I like that idea.
Well, thank you for joining us on NBC 16 at 6:30. We'll see you tonight for NBC 16 News at 11.